Journalism is important to me because it's one of those things that supports our democracy, that people can understand what's going on in their communities, across the nation, across the world. It's very informative, and I think people can't make adequate decisions, especially when voting, of course, but just in their daily lives without knowing what's going on. It always surprises me when people don't subscribe to the paper, or they don't read the paper, or they don't read any kind of local media, and yet they work and live in the town. They really need to be part of the town. And journalism does that for just about anybody.
It's a way that the world actually becomes a better place. When journalists are allowed to do their work, collect facts, and tell people about stuff that they didn't know before, then people can make more informed decisions, and we can actually get along better and have a more peaceful world.
Journalism is where it's at. I mean, you gotta have people who are continuously communicating with the community and letting them know what's happening and why things are happening in their backyards and on their streets and in their neighborhoods, and so they have a better sense of how to respond and how to communicate with us as leaders. It's so invaluable.
Nobody covers anything unless we cover it. And people want to know, well, who's playing at such and such lounge this weekend? What community event is going on in the park? What business just opened or what business just closed? People want to know that, and they don't know it if there isn't a press out there covering it and getting it out to the populace, particularly in times of emergency. Small towns need to be able to react quickly, and local news is the best form of communication to be able to get accurate, reliable, and timely information out to its citizens in times of emergency.
Because what would our world look like without it? It would be a lot of misinformation. There would be a rip in the fabric of a community. And I think what journalism does is bring a community together, gives it the facts, and helps basically that community come together and survive.
Being a watchdog on local government, that is absolutely tantamount to resisting the efforts of politicians to be corrupt, to work outside their borders, to keep from backdoor politics. I know it happens, but we're always trying to be there right outside that door listening and making sure we let the readers and the populace know what's going on. Less than 1% of any population actually attends city council meetings, and unless the city closes its doors one day and tells everybody we're done, people just assume that things are going fine with city government. So it's up to the press.
Well, one of the critical things that are happening right now, as people have seen, is that a lot of small town newspapers have gone out of business. They folded. There's no local journalist in somebody's community, which means there's no watchdog for what's going on at your city council or your school board and things like that. And again, people are not informed. What FORJ does, it finances the local journalists, so you have boots on the ground. You have somebody in that so-called news desert or that small community that actually can be a reporter for them and keep that community informed. They do the grunt work to try to make sure that everybody in the community knows what's happening. So FORJ is a huge benefit for that, for all of Oregon.
My understanding of what FORJ is doing is that they are helping aspiring young journalists break into the principles of gathering news, gathering facts, talking to people, listening well, without taking on all the encumbrances of how troubled the journalism industry is.
I've been keeping my ear to what FORJ has been doing, and I think it's fantastic. House Bill 2605 being supported by the state, because I think our politicians will find there is overwhelming support for rural journalism.
We need to change our business model. We need to build a model of sustainability for news organizations, and we need to attract you, the younger generation, into this profession so it can continue to evolve, and we can continue to have journalists who are trained and are able to vet the information they've been receiving and kind of cut through all the noise that has, I think, consumed our society. I think younger people they care and they want to be part of the solution. So that's why we formed FORJ.
One of the things FORJ does, it really creates the opportunity for young people to not only learn the skills, but also take their knowledge and their moment in place in history and bring it forward to your peers and bring the rest of us into your world. That's really important too.
I have always loved writing. It's always been something I've gravitated towards, but I never thought I could turn it into a career. I've always enjoyed that in journalism. I'm able to interview people and find the facts and use it in my own creative way to write an article and inform people. And I'm excited that this is an opportunity for me to learn how to write, continue writing, and hopefully make it into something bigger for myself.